lovelies, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Lily. I am a 25-year-old zero-based cash budgeter and stuffer up in Maine. I have been doing the budget by paycheck method of cash budgeting for over 4 years now, and this system has provided me with the tools to pay down debt and to purchase my home that I live in now with my boyfriend and our 3 dogs. And we do all things cash budgeting over here, so if any of that sounds like content that may interest you, I sincerely hope that you consider hitting that subscribe button and sending some support my way. But happy Money Monday, everyone. How are we doing? How are we feeling? Today, we are finally back with another budget video. I'm so excited. It's been like way too long since I budgeted out my income with you guys. Life has just been crazy with being back in school and the shop, and there's wedding season, so it's been a little nuts. But we are back. We're going to budget out this paycheck, or this next pay period. We are working from the 22nd to the 28th, and this is my 4th paycheck for the month of July. I do have 5 paychecks this month because it's a magic month, so this is not our last one, but this is number 4. If you are new, I do the zero-based budget method, meaning that every single dollar that I make for this pay period will be assigned a job, whether that is for gas, groceries, a certain bill, savings, sinking funds, yada yada. So we'll get into that in just a second. I do just want to quickly walk you guys through my breakdown here if you are unfamiliar. Apologies for the traffic, goodness gracious. So I break down my budget. I have a section here to record my income. I have a section here to record the money that is designated for my wallet, which is my gas, my groceries, things like that. I also have a section up here of money that we're actually leaving out of the budget. We're not going to be pulling out in cash to cover some auto drafts and subscriptions that are going to be pulling throughout this week. This big section here is where the majority of my money goes, which is my bills and my debt. I also have a section down here for my business income because some of this is from my small business. I have a section here for my sinking funds, which are sort of like revolving savings funds, things that you put into and pull out of somewhat regularly. My Christmas fund, a fund for my dogs, car care, household toiletries, things like that. And then I also have a section down here for my savings, my long-term savings that I try my hardest not to pull from. So that is my breakdown. We are going to jump right in. If you guys aren't new, you might kind of have noticed, but I showed you guys this, I think maybe last week when I mentioned that I haven't done a budget with me in a while, that I had this prepped for last week and then I didn't end up filming it. So I don't have a spot on here for it, but this week we are including my YouTube income as well, which is always exciting. So I'll just add that on to the side, I guess. Let's just move my candle really quick. Let's just put YouTube as well. So this week, I have my full-time job income, my YouTube income from last month, which paid out this week, and then my Etsy income, which is where my small business is. If you're interested in checking it out, it's linked in the description of every video. So from my full-time job, we are working with $567 this week. Now from Etsy, I've said this spiel a bunch, but I am filming this on Sunday and I will not get paid out until halfway through Monday. So if I do happen to get another order before midnight tonight, we could be working with more. If I get another order tomorrow morning before I get paid out, we could be working with a little bit less. It really varies. But as of right now, we have I just bought that in there, $245 that we are expecting to be paid before taxes from Etsy, and then YouTube paid me out for the money that I made throughout last month, which was May, right? No, June. Yeah, no. June? Yeah, June. Oh my gosh, we're at the end of July already. That's crazy. Anyway, they pay you out a month behind, so the money that I made throughout the month of June, we have $587 $63 to work with, which is absolutely amazing. Again, pre-tax. So our total income, $563, $567, and $245. We have $1,375 that we are working with, which is outstanding. It's not a typical week for me. It would typically just be my full-time job and Etsy. But yeah, so the next thing that we need to do is just account for money that we are leaving out of the cash system this week. So every single week I have $10 auto drafted into my high yield savings account with Ally. And then I also have $20 automatically transferred to my Roth IRA through my Charles Schwab account. So that's $30. And then this week in particular, from the 22nd to the 28th, I have $43 of subscriptions. I know that sounds crazy, and it is crazy, but it's business expenses, things like Cricut, Canva Pro, Artlist. My Furbo dog nanny pulls out this week as well. So yeah, so we do have 43 plus 30, so $73 that we need to leave out of this week's budget. So $13.75 minus 73 is still an amazing $13.02, which is, again, absolutely crazy. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to budget out my bills and my debt. Now, I will say up front, if you guys are new here, I have a debt breakdown video. This might not be the most recent one that I've done on camera, but I will link the whole debt playlist that I have up in the cards for you guys if you're interested. But basically, this is the breakdown that I have for my plan to pay off my debt. This is just through the end of December, first payment for January. So we are on July to August. Now, this is a magic month, so some things are broken down a little bit differently. This month in particular, my care credit for my dog's vet expenses is $353.40. My Discover It payment that I have scheduled is $500, and I'm paying $200 back to my brother. Now, from my YouTube paycheck, which we are budgeting this week, I have already designated $300, $100 to go toward Discover, $100 to go to my brother, and $100 to go to my mortgage, which isn't even on this. So with that being said, we are going to be stuffing my regular weekly payments, and those three categories will be getting the extra money. That's the only difference for this week. So I am going to rearrange just a little bit so that I can grab my bills binder for you. Okay, so this is the binder that I keep my bills categories in. Yes, mortgage is a debt. I understand that, but it's always been in this binder, so I just leave it in there. So my mortgage payment is $400. You might not be able to see what I'm typing. I apologize, but it's $423 a month. That is my portion of the mortgage. My boyfriend and I split it, and that's just how it came up. So he pays the majority. I pay $423 and utilities. It's kind of how we have things mixed up. So right now I have $50, $100, $120, $40, $60, $80, $90, $200, $210, $20, $25, and $30. 51, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 200, 210, 225, and 230. Okay, so I have 230. So technically I need $193 more. Now 100 of that I'm going to take away is from my YouTube paycheck. So I'm just going to pop a 1 there because we are stuffing $100. So that's 93 that's left divided by, we have 2 more paychecks left. So that is $46.50. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to round that up to 50. So it's 150, and then the rest we will stuff next week. So we'll just have a little bit less that we need to stuff next week. So that's mortgage. Now my internet bill is $45. We have Fiberfidium. So we have 10, 15, 25, 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 36. That is $9 technically that I still need to stuff. Now, I could divide that by the 2 paychecks that we have left and stuff for $5 today and $4 tomorrow or next week. But I think what I'm going to do is, because we have a little bit of extra income to work with our YouTube paycheck, I think I'm going to stuff the full 9 and fully fund that this week. And then next week, I won't have to stuff it at all. So it'll be totally extra income. Now for my electric bill, the money that you see here on this custom IOU, in the bank placeholder that is in my shop. I also have IOUs in fully funded. That is money that is in my high yield savings account with Ally that is sitting there as a buffer, and it's accruing interest over time rather than just having the cash sitting in the envelope. But throughout the month, I usually stuff $240 to $250. This month I'm doing $200 because our electric bills have been just a little bit lower. So my goal this month is to save $200, and then whatever's left over after I pay the bill goes towards my buffer for future payments, like in the winter when we have to run the pellet stove and things like that. So my goal is $200. We currently have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 110, 25, 35, 45, and 150. So I only need $50 more. Now again, I could stuff 25 today and then 25 next week. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do 25 this week and then we'll do 25 next week. Okay, next is heat. Now, let's just see where we're at. I have $300 in the bank. This is a variable expense. I am saving up for future payments that come to oil and pellets for our pellet stove. I live in Maine, like I said. We're currently in the summer months, so we don't need heat right now, but it is expensive, so I save up over time. So right now we have $300 in the bank, and then 310, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 355. Now, if I wanted to get up to $400, I need $45 more. Divided by 2 would be $22.50. So I'll do 25 today, and then I'll be able to stuff a little bit less. If we need 45 and we're stuffing 25, I'll only have to stuff 20 next week. So kind of getting ahead a little bit. Next week, like I said, is a magic month, so a lot of our bills will be fully funded and we'll have a little bit extra money to work with. So water and sewer, similarly, we are really far ahead on this. It's typically like $215 or so every 3 months, and I just paid it at the beginning of June, so we shouldn't be due until the end of September. Right now we have $225 saved in the bank, $235, $45, $55, $65, $75, $80, and $285. So I think I want to get up to $300 in here as well, because we have like a whole month and a half to really keep getting ahead. So I only need $15 for this one. And I think I'll just do all of that this week as well. So next week we won't have to stuff it at all. Okay, so for my phone bill is $60 a month. We have 10, 20, 35, 40, and 45. So I need $15 more. And again, I think I'm just gonna stuff the whole thing this week, and then next week I won't have to stuff anything. So next week we'll have, already we have a couple categories where all that money doesn't have to go to bills and we can put it towards other things. So that's exciting. Now, car insurance, I typically stuff $25 a week. We have $700 in the bank, 20, 40, 50, 65, 70, and 75. So I'm just going to do another $25. That will get us up to $800. I got a new car this cycle, so I swapped my insurance over, and I'm not really sure how much the renewal is going to be. So I'm hoping it's less than $800 for the 6 months. We'll see. I should probably actually check what that is. Maybe the premium is up. Okay, so I just checked my Allstate app really quickly, and it looks like it says that the premium right now is at $724. Now, I don't know if that is with the pay in full discount or not. So at least at this point, we do have enough to pay it, whatever that premium is. So that makes me feel a little bit better. I am going to keep stuffing though, because it's every 6 months, so it's a lot. Now my pet insurance, my half is $50. We have 3 dogs and my boyfriend and I split that in half. So we have 10, 25, 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 49. 39. So I only need $11 more to fully fund that one. So that is what we are going to stuff this week. Now Washville is a little bit different. This one's actually going to be auto drafting this week. It's just a one that we do save up for. So I need $29.99, so $30. This is my car wash monthly membership. So we have 10, 15, 20, 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 36. So I technically already have in here what I would need. I'm actually, 10, 15, 20. Okay. I'm actually just going to pull that out. So 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. I'm actually going to set this aside and I'm just going to deposit that into my checking account. So we're technically saving up for next week, next month. So I'm going to stuff, I typically do $8 a week to be just a little bit ahead of the game. So I'll just do that this week. Now my car's registration, I stuff $5 a week in here no matter what. This is due in August as well. I don't know how much it's going to be. It's typically like $175, but with my new car, it could be more. I don't know. So we have $215, $20, $25, and $230 in here. Whatever is extra, I will go ahead and just roll over for next year. Sam's Club is $120 and it's due in February, and we have 105, 10, 15, and 120. So this one's fully funded. So at the end of the month, I will pull this out. I'll bring it to my Ally high yield savings account, let it accrue some interest until it's due in February. But for right now, we don't have to stuff it because it's all set. So that is it for the budget for my bills. And then next, we're going to go to my debt binder, which I keep separate just for S's and G's. So my Discover It is a balance transfer. So based on my debt plan that I showed you guys, I need $500. So that is $88 for 4 weeks, $48 for the 5th week, and then $100 from YouTube. So I'm technically doing the 5th week. So $148 is what we are stuffing today, but just to show you guys sort of the math. Okay, so if you're seeing this right now, I just skipped a whole section where I pulled the money out because I confused even myself. So I'm just going to let that go. 148 is what we are stuffing in Discover It. Now for my Care credit card, this is off topic, but I mentioned this in a previous video. I went to Walgreens and I spent $20. So I just pulled that right out and I popped it in here, and that's going to go there. It was from my household binder. So anyway, for my Care credit, I need $353.40. And we have 300, let's just 354. We have 300 in the bank already. And then 20, 40, 55, 60, 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 20, 40, 55, 60, 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 66. Okay, so I added the 20. So we need $8. I also just realized this is an IOU. Austin did finally pay me back this $300. It's being transferred over from Venmo, so I should have it in cash sometime later this week. So I only need $8 in order to fully fund Care credit. So that is what I am going to stuff this week. Now my credit cards are separate. I'm going to skip this and come back to it. So my car payment though, my goal is $150 for a regular month, but I will say we're going to try to do $200 this month. So we currently have 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 95, 100, 105, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 114. So I need $86. So divided by the 2 more paychecks that we have is $43. Now my student loans, I am currently in school, so my federal loans are in deferment, but I am still making payments on them. So I need $500 total for my federal and personal. And we have 1, 2, 250, 300, 320, 40, 65, 70, and 375. So I need $125 to fully fund that. Now, like I said, this month we are paying $200 back to my brother, $100, which I will put there, and I messed that up as well. So, those are just flip-flops. So we have 20, 40, 60, 5, 70, and 75. So that is $125 that we are putting towards paying my brother back. But you know what? Actually, let's just do 100 this week, and then we can do $25 next week. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then for this, I still need to transfer $50 out. This is saving up for back to school. I did go back to school. I left school in 2021, my senior year, so I'm finishing out my college degree currently. I have 1 more week of classes, and then I'll be done with my summer semester. But this is for books and materials for school, as well as trying to cash flow my spring semester. So we'll see how that goes. But right now, my goal, I was doing $63 a week. Lately, that has been going towards bridesmaid because I'm in a wedding and there's yada yada. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start stuffing back to school again, but I'm going to do $40 for now. And then we'll see. And I also just realized that I don't have a section for my credit cards because they were paid off, but they're not anymore. So we are going to just add that right there. See, budgets are editable. They're flowing, they're function, you know, you can do what you want with them. So that's it for my debt. Actually, it's not. Let's go to credit cards really quickly. Now, my current credit card bill is, I think, like $160 or $170, something like that. So I'm kind of waiting until next week to like finalize it and fully fund it. But for now, we have 20, 30, 45, and 50. I'm trying to just get ahead while I can. So let's just do another 50. Let's do another 50. So that's it for debt. So before we move any further, let's find the total of all of these. Okay, my first go through, I got 802, but I am going to add them up again because you really never know if you make a mistake. See, that time I got $797. So let's just want to make sure we're working with the correct number. Okay, I got 802 again, so I'm going to stick with that. Now, next is my business income. So Etsy and YouTube are not taxed when they pay you, so it's really smart to... Okay, my camera just cut off. I apologize. It does it all the time. I'm not entirely sure where I cut off, but we are down to my business income here. Now, Etsy and YouTube are not taxed before they pay you, so it is very smart to put some money aside for taxes. I was doing 30%. Now I'm kind of doing 25 to 30% and kind of rounding here and there. So for Etsy, we have $245 times 25%, that's $61. So I'm going to go with $60. And then from YouTube, that is $563. 25% is $140.70. So I'm going to do $140. So that does total $200 that we are putting aside towards taxes. Now the rest is kind of up to me. I think I'm going to do $10 for shipping, $6 for stamps.com, and let's do $30 for supplies. Again, totally up to me. I'm just kind of winging it. So 200 plus 16 and 30, that is $246 that we are budgeting for my business income. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that 1302, pop it into my calculator, subtract 802 and 246. So we have $254 left for gas, groceries, sinking funds, and savings, which is incredible. So let's move up here. Now, I do want to mention, first thing I'm going to do is put $5 into miscellaneous. You know what? I'm going to put $10 into miscellaneous, and I'll tell you why. At the end of this coming week on Friday, my brother and I are taking a trip to the beach with a bunch of extended family that are going to be here. I'm bringing him down. We're going to spend the day at the beach. We're probably going to get food. We might go on some rides. We might do this and that. So I want to make sure that I have enough money to, I mean, he's going to have his own money too. He's 20, but I want to make sure that I have enough money to contribute if we get pizza or something, get my own food, maybe go on some rides if I want to. So with that being said, I think I'm going to do $50 for gas because it's like a 3-hour drive there and back. So I'm going to need to fill up, and that's at the end of the week. So I kind of want to make sure I have a little bit of extra money to get me there, you know. And then for groceries, which is really, it's not necessarily just groceries, it's like dinners and stuff, but also food and eating out and stuff. I think I want to do, let's do 65. That sounds right? So that's $125 for my wallet. And then the rest is for sinking funds and savings. So I have an odd number here, which is $129. I think I'm going to take 14 away, and I'm going to put that right into the baby binder up front. I'm saving up for future kiddos. My boyfriend and I have been trying for a while, so I'm slowly saving up for the expenses that will inevitably come with children. Now, the next thing I'm going to do quickly is grab my yearly savings challenge binder, and let's see where we're at going back to July. So the last slip that I need to fill in is the 15. I might as well do that this week so I don't have to worry about it next week. So let's take 15 out and put that towards our savings challenge. Now, let's see. I'm not going to stuff new car or garage this week. I don't think the garage is going to be happening anytime soon. And new car is just not a priority. So let's see. Christmas, though, is something that I'm actively currently spending quite a bit of money on. So I'm going to do $30 and put that right towards Christmas. Off the bat, though, I know I'm not going to stuff personal or auntie or gifts or medical or Austin. At least I think I know that right now, because I want to be more intentional with where this goes rather than trying to spread it all out. So let's do $5 into manifest, and we'll do $10 into household for like toiletries and household things that we need. Let's do $20 into bridesmaid, because I do still need to get some things for the wedding day. We have dogs, car care. Let's just say no to car care just this week, and let's do 5 into the dogs. We have 30 left, so let's do 15 into emergency and 15 into my household emergency. I think I am actually, you know what? Let's do my home emergency is at 500 right now. I'm sorry, my regular emergency, but my home emergency, since we had to buy a new humidifier or dehumidifier for the basement, is at 260. So I'm gonna do the full $30 into home emergency. That will bring it up to 290. And then next week we'll do at least another 10 and bring that up to 300 even. I think I'm good with that. So let's just double check everything. We have 5, 30, 15, and 14, which is 64 for savings. And then 5, 30, 10, and 20, which is 65 for sinking funds. So 1302 minus 125 for our wallet, 802 for our bills, 246 for business, 65 for sinking funds, and 64 for savings is $0 left over. Hence the zero-based budget system. Every single dollar that we made of the 1302 or 1375 is assigned a job. It has a place to go. It is being spent. So I don't end up having extra money that's just sitting in my account willy-nilly. I can spend it on whatever. If I wanted to, I could pop it into personal and spend it on whatever. I could allocate it to be spent on miscellaneous unbudgeted expenses. I could allocate it to go into my buffer that's in my checking account, and I could spend it on what I wanted or if I needed anything. But I choose to be more intentional with it, put it towards savings categories, put it towards bills, things like that. So that is how I budget out my expenses, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up. Leave a yellow heart in the comments to show your support for the channel. And of course, subscribe. If you are new to this, if you're new to my channel, welcome again. Thank you so much for being here. And if you are interested in watching this money actually get cashed out and put into the envelopes, I do cash stuffings on here every single Tuesday and Thursday. On Tuesdays, I stuff my full-time paycheck, and on Thursdays, I stuff my small business Etsy paycheck. And then, of course, when we have extra money like our YouTube and things like that, I will stuff those later Fridays on the weekends. And then at the end of every single month, I will take all of the cash out of my binders. I will add it all up. I'll make sure we have everything correct, and then I will deposit it back into the bank, and I will transfer it to savings. I will pay my bills, and yeah. So if you have any questions about this system, always feel free to leave them in the comment section. Don't hesitate to reach out over on Instagram. My Etsy shop is linked in the description of every video if you are interested. And when we hit 15,000 subscribers, I will be doing a big sale. So hit that subscribe button, send some support my way. And with all that being said, thank you so much for sticking around with me. And I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, week, month, year, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.